Recording? So I want to start a project for us all to work on together about something that I personally love very much, and that is the internet. I think it's pretty clear that the internet and smartphones and this whole massive wave of new technology, it changes everything, like pretty much every facet of our lives. The question is, are these changes good or bad for us? As for me, I'm an optimist. I think overall the changes are good. Like I said, I love the internet, but this project I'm starting right now is not about what I think. I already know what I think. I want to hear what you think, dear person out there watching this, and I want you to record yourself saying it. But before you answer my question about the internet, I want to narrow it down a bit to something that's particularly prominent on the internet nowadays, what with this being an election year, and that is democracy. I've been thinking a lot lately about the connections between technology and democracy because I just finished shooting a movie where I play Edward Snowden. If you're not sure who Edward Snowden is, he's the guy who revealed that the NSA was secretly collecting the private information of millions of Americans through their phones and email and Facebook and Skype, etc. A lot of different people feel a lot of different ways about what Snowden did, but whether you think he's a traitor or you think he's a hero, he's definitely an example that today's technology is changing everything, and that includes our democracy. So that brings me to the question. Is today's technology good or bad for democracy? That's the question that I'd like to answer for this project I'm starting right now. And I actually have two follow-up questions, and they are, how might the technology of the future be bad for democracy? And how might the technology of the future be good for democracy? All right, so obviously one of the things you could talk about is what new technology means for privacy. Now, some people feel that the right to privacy is a cornerstone of democracy, and without that privacy, we no longer live in a free country. Other people, and especially perhaps people who are so open with their lives online anyway, they don't mind being watched. So I'm curious how you feel about it. Does it bother you that the government is using the internet for mass surveillance? Does it change the way you use your computer or use your phone? Or does it not really bother you that much? Then there's lots of other things you could talk about. For example, technology has a huge impact on free speech, how we express ourselves, how we get our news, how we get our education. Technology could impact our right to bear arms or the way we interact with the police. There's no right answer to these questions, and in fact, the answers I'm the most interested in are not the expert political pundit, left-wing, right-wing talking points kind of thing. I'd much rather hear something personal to you. Maybe you use the internet to find out who you want to vote for, like both Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump have been huge on social media lately. Or maybe you've been part of an organized movement that relied heavily on the internet. Again, make it personal. In my answer, I mostly talked about the media because I've worked in TV and movies since I was a kid. Then for the two questions about the future, be creative. You can get fully sci-fi with imagining what kind of new technology could be coming in the future and how that might be good or bad for democracy. Again, here's how I answered. So when I think of the technology of the future, I think about computers becoming smaller and smaller and easier to use. And I wonder how long it's going to be before, we have like these tiny supercomputers just fully implanted in our brains. And on the one hand, that does sound scary, and it does sound like that could be very bad for democracy. On the other hand, if we had neural implants in our brains, that could really help democracy because it could allow us to give much more precise input on what we want the government to be doing on our behalf. Nowadays we use voting. That's an old-fashioned system. I'm sure new technology could facilitate a much more sort of collaborative and democratic process to get input from the people of what we think our government should be doing on our behalf or shouldn't be doing. You get the idea. Talking to your camera, doesn't have to be a fancy camera. Briefly introduce yourself, say your name, maybe where you're from or how old you are, what you do for a living, then answer the 3 questions and upload your video to HITRECORD. If you're not familiar with HITRECORD, it's a production company that I started where we do projects like this all the time, and anyone can come to our website or use our mobile app to contribute to our collaborative productions. And we make all kinds of things together like short films and books and music, and we made a TV show that won an Emmy. And the plan with this project is to take all these contributions we get in and produce a bunch of short films. And that'll be a collaborative process as well. So writers, video editors, animators, musicians can come to our site and work together on these short films that I'll be directing. And we might make some kind of stylized documentary, we might dramatize people's personal stories, we could do animation, a song, who knows. Couple more things. For this project, I am pleased to announce that HITRECORD will be partnering with the ACLU. If you're not familiar with the ACLU, they're a 100-year-old nonprofit legal organization, and they're right at the forefront of figuring out how today's laws should or shouldn't adapt to today's new technology. So they'll be getting behind our project and making sure I don't say anything too glaringly stupid, and helping us spread the word about what we all make together. And lastly, although this project is not about the money, as with every HITRECORD production, if one of your contributions is used in one of the final short films, you'll get paid. Now, I've been thinking a lot lately about these questions ever since playing Edward Snowden, and I think especially with an election coming up this year here in the US, it's a really worthwhile conversation for us to be having. So I'm gonna be donating my acting fee from the Snowden movie to help facilitate that conversation. And part of that money will go to this project, and the rest of the money will go to the ACLU to support the legal work that they do in the areas of technology and democracy. And that's about it. I really look forward to hearing how you answer the 3 questions and seeing what kind of short films we can make out of it. So thank you, God bless you, and God bless the internet. Thanks again.
Now we better back up.